So how's it been out there on the East Coast?
Cold. um, it's been it's been a challenge, but it's been a great experience. To be honest with you, as tough as it has been to deal and be in this pandemic, um, I have learned so much about myself as a wife, as a mother, and as a person. So, you know, I I would definitely change, obviously, the lives that have been lost. I wish that those types of things did not occur. But when you really have to sit down because you shut in, and really take a look at your life, it really is an eye opener. And God gave me an opportunity to really make some changes in my life, for the better.
Mhm.
So I'm grateful, for this time to just have a seat and to
Yeah,
really.
so how are you managing during this time? Like, how are you balancing everything out as far as being a wife and then, managing your children with the virtual learning?
Well, one thing I love, I'm a planner.
Okay.
And the plans don't always go the way that I want them to go, but I have found a structure, and I've found a day-to-day guide for me that allows me to be all of those specific titles. So the most important thing that I've implemented is my time. That's
Mm-hmm.
just me. And it was a hard choice to make because my time is at 5 o'clock in the morning. Everybody sleeps.
Mm-hmm.
And that means now that my day really does start at 5. So it's like I don't get to sleep in. I don't get to, wake up later in the day. Like I'm up. But that was very important for me to start my day with me, with God, with
Mm-hmm.
exercise and things like that. So then when the day goes on, right, and somebody's saying, mommy, like I can't log on, or mom, I'm hungry, or Naj, like, I don't cook, but I help my husband, prep dinner, stuff like that. Naj, can you get the meat out, or I need something from the store. That
Yeah.
way, when all those other titles start coming, I've already given myself me, right? I've
Yeah.
already poured in and I've helped myself to the day. So I'm a planner, to say the least, and that's how I manage. I'm very
I
grateful.
love that because you set the tone for the day. So
Right.
then when it's just like coming at you, you
Yeah,
know,
all day long, mom.
yeah,
I need my snack, and I have a 6-year-old, so he be sitting there like, I want my ice cream.
really,
So
yeah.
you think about, you give and you're giving, but you ain't gave nothing to yourself. And for me, it wasn't, I couldn't do it at night.
Mhm.
Like mentally, I needed to be selfish in the beginning. I needed me first, and then everybody else come. So I
So
needed to be.
prior to the pandemic, you did not have this 5 a.m. schedule, is what?
No, I did. So last year when I turned 39, um, it was a really eye opener summer last summer where I realized I'm giving way too much, and I ain't getting enough back.
Mhm.
One, because these are kids that I'm dealing with my kids. What could they really give me back besides thank you, I love you, and being good kids?
Mhm.
And I made a conscious effort to make sure that I stop forgetting about myself and stop putting myself last. And I used my birthday money to get a trainer to get back to working out because that was something just for me, right? You gotta
Mhm.
find something that's
Just
just
for you.
you. It ain't got nothing to do with nobody else but you. And my days, when I made that decision to really start pouring into myself daily, not self-care once a week, not self-care once a month,
Mhm.
daily self-care, is when I started to say, if this is what you need, then make the sacrifice and get up and do what you need to do for yourself before everybody else gets up, before your day gets started with work, all that kind of stuff. So me getting up at 5 it's been about a little over a year because I just turned 40 back in August. So
And so do you see the actual like change as far as setting the tone for you and then your atmosphere with your family, with your children and everybody else. Do you see the great benefits from that?
I do. It's not every day because, you know, you think about, for me, if I've had like a really hard workout and then I'm tired, then I become grouchy because everybody is asking me for such and such and such, you know, they still need me during the day. But overall, I have realized, and my daughter more so sees this more so than my son and my husband, because she vibes and my energy and her energy is really just back and forth, right?
Okay.
So when I have great days, she has a great day.
Okay.
When I am silly, I'm a very silly person. You know, love candy, all that fun. Her day is great. When I'm moody, when I'm snappy, it sets her in a
Really?
yes, like her response to me will literally be the same vibe that I gave to her. And then I'm sitting there like, well, who are you talking to? And then, you know, we get into all of this.
Right.
So I've learned and I've had to step away and say, if you want peace, Najah, in your house, if you want to have a great day in your house, if you need an extra minute to just sit and just take everything out so that the energy doesn't continue to pour out throughout your day with your kids and your family, then do that.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's really important to me. I want my house and I want us to have as many great days as we possibly can. But it's not always every day like, yes, I've given to myself, so now I'm happy, I'm joyous. No. There's
Mm-hmm.
days where I'm still, I'm still on edge.
Yeah. Okay,
But
but pouring into yourself and like making this new ritual for you. Like, how do you look at fulfillment now, especially in this time? Like, what does fulfillment look like for you in life?
fulfillment right now, honestly, is, I would say, just where I currently am. I'm just honestly grateful to God. My husband and I, we have not skipped a beat in this time, in regards to managing our home, to managing our kids. And I'm grateful for that. And that gives me such peace and feeling that, I know that there are so many families out here that this pandemic really changed their whole life. So
Mm-hmm.
the fulfillment that I have and I feel is like I could still wake up and I still have my job.
Yeah.
Didn't get a pay cut, didn't have to be laid off for a little bit, nothing. So the fulfillment now is just that God still provided for me and my family during this time. And it's funny, yesterday I just did our bills for the end of the month. And I just told my husband, I said, God got us through another year. He got us through another year of being here, of being able to manage our home and our lifestyle. And I'm grateful for that. And that fulfills me, as a person, as a woman with responsibilities, as a mother. So
Beautiful.
yeah.
And so you have that going on for you and you're grateful. And so how do you quiet the voices, the outside voices in the world that says that maybe you should do life like this, maybe you should manage things like that? How are you silencing those voices and really locking into what you want to do for yourself and for your family and just for everybody that you serve?
I The one thing I had to tell myself was, girl, if you don't let this social media stop running your mind, please, because social media it can be very inspiring, but it could also kind of be like a bully.
Mm-hmm.
for me. It was having me to second guess, like, should I be starting this kind of side hustle? Should I be doing this with my house? Should I be tearing down this
Yeah,
wall?
it's so much.
It's
It's
so
so
much.
much.
And I just had to just stop, right? And just literally just listen and look around what God has given me. God shows you your gifts and your talents at some point in your life, right? And I kept thinking that I needed to have a certain kind of business, a certain kind of career in order to be made known, to be recognized, to be dope, to be um just like this bomb woman, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, but I had to stop and say, but he gave me this nonprofit that I work with girls,
Mm-hmm.
right? And he gave me a creative mindset. So, and I love to organize. So I had to really look at what God had given me and stop trying to change what I thought I should have deserved, if that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah. I think that's one of the greatest challenges that all of us as human beings have, living in this time where social media is just like so ever present. And you can look
Yeah,
and you can say, it almost sometimes it can make you feel like, am I doing life right? Based off what you see. And so
yeah,
you really have to tap in to be like, I got everything I need.
yes. And
I have everything I need inside of me.
I had to, and the way I silenced it was I took many moments where I turned social media off, took the apps off my phone, and just believed that what God had given me is exactly what He wants me to do. And when you pray, right, and you're asking God, oh, I want your will, what's my purpose for life? But when He shows you what that purpose is and you're not really willing to accept it because you're thinking it's supposed to be an online boutique, or you
Mm-hmm.
think it's supposed to be you selling sneakers, I don't know, whatever, or being a coach. But He's showing you that no, like I want you to pour into women. I want you to be a speaker of some sort, something different than what your mind is. That is that's what you have to be willing to accept. And that for me, I accepted that yes, I have a nonprofit. It doesn't pay me. I don't have a six-figure business. None of that. But what He gave me is a peace of mind and an opportunity to help and grow young girls. And
Yeah.
Naja, you have to be okay with what I have given you. And when you accept and you love and you nurture and you grow what I have given you, you your eyes, your ears, you can't even fathom what I'm going to open up and do for you. But you got to start to walk and do what I've given you and accept
Yeah.
what I've given you. Stop trying to be in all these different lanes, sis. This is
Yeah.
where you are. This is what I want you to do.
Yeah, you really had to tap in. I
Yeah.
mean, and you, as far as just in pouring into young women's lives, young girls, like that is a great responsibility.
Yeah.
That's a great responsibility. And so, you could be thinking something else, but then it's like that right there.
And
That's
when you think
major.
about
And for you to have the skills and the knowledge and the tools and the gift and everything else to be able to do that, that's a great blessing. So
yes,
how is that going for you in this time? What does that look like for you, mentorship during this time?
it's difficult because as we was talking before we got on the recording, my love language is very physical, right? I love to be in the presence of my girls because that's where I draw so much energy
Mhm.
from. That's where it goes off in a light bulb, and it's very clear to me why God gave me what he gave me to do in this particular assignment. So now that, I have to do virtual with them, it's very tough. It doesn't move my spirit.
Yeah.
Like, it don't really like
Doesn't
give me
really fill
that.
you up the same way.
Yeah, like it don't really give me that vibe. Like, yeah, like, we about to do this live because, they're looking at me, I'm looking at them. I can't, rub their back. I can't, we can't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
So, what I've learned and what I'm doing now is preparing for when we do get back together. And it's going to be, I believe it's going to be major. It's going to be huge. So right now we do virtual. I speak to them. We do, very little activities, but they are not even all that excited, to be honest, and to be very transparent. They're zoomed out. They like, Miss Najah, like,
Sold out. Like,
we would just rather wait till we could see you again. I'm like, but I don't know when that's going to be. So we got to stay here. I still need to make sure you guys are all right, and make sure, that we're still talking and we're still staying in touch. But it's not the same. And I couldn't tell you, and I wouldn't tell you that, oh, we're great. It's amazing. No, it's a challenge. They are tapped, and it shows in the way that, our activities and our check-ins go. It's
mm-hmm. Yes, talking about that physical touch, like that is something during this time. I mean, some people have not seen their parents.
mm,
Some people who go on, trips or, annual trips, they haven't been able to do that. Like it has just shifted everything for us. So for you, as someone who like your love tank gets full from that, how are you managing that? Because you were talking about your mentoring organization, and that's difficult. So like, what are some of the things that you are doing to help you balance that out? Because you're still doing the work, which is amazing. Like you decided that I'm still going to do this work.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um, to be honest, though, I'm my tank is getting full again because I've now decided to prepare for when the world opens back up.
Okay.
And that is what's giving me that's what's filling me back up. So my preparation, the things that I'm putting into place, is helping me manage that, because you know um I can't I I'm not ready. Some organizations do have in-person meetings. I know a few that have brought their girls back together to have the classes, but not on my watch.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. Not on my watch. Do I need a phone call from a mom saying, hey, my daughter has gotten COVID? And then I got to call all these other parents to let them know. Not me. So I had to say, Najah, just prepare, and know that when you bring them back together, it's going to be something much different, much greater than how it was before y'all left.
So that forward thinking is keeping you focused, uh,
Yes.
of what's to come. Yeah, because it's gonna open back up. We just
Yeah.
in a tight spot right now.
Yep. I'm just trying to tell you, God want us to have a seat, right? And he's dealt with me. He's dealing with me mentally, spiritually, during this time. So this time, it's hard at times, honestly, to be sitting still. But when he gives me a revelation, when he gives me an idea,
Mm-hmm.
I may have not heard it if I'm constantly moving, I'm constantly doing this or trying to figure out that. So I'm grateful for this time. I really am. I really am. I mean, of course, I would love to do a trip.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I missed out on my 40th birthday trip this year, but
Yeah.
listen, my family is healthy, you know, um, you gotta just I'm grateful for this seat, to have a seat, to prepare.
So how can we, as women and girls, how can we continue to power through? Like, what are some tips that you have for us to help us to continue powering through this season?
Um, that's a good question. I would say to power through. So think about when you power through, you gotta push,
Mhm.
right? You gotta have some oomph, when you want to move that mountain or you want to do something. So you gotta build your strength up. And how do we build our strength? Through reading, through listening, through praying, through physical exercise. So these are the kinds of things that it takes strength every day to wake up. If you're a mother, to be a teacher on this virtual, to be a teacher's assistant in this virtual homeschooling space. If you're an employee, and you may have to be out there as an essential worker, you gotta push and power yourself through it. But there's things that you could do on a daily basis that give you the strength to push through the next day. So
Mhm.
that strength is a prayer in the morning or at night. That strength could be a conversation with a good friend, just like this video talk. Have
Mhm.
have the conversation. Your strength could be, just having a seat and letting your muscles, kind of like get loose, get
Right.
ready
Right.
for that push. And that's what we have to do. Is I mean, that's what you have to do
Yeah.
in my book,
Yeah.
is
That's good stuff.
to build your strength up. And those are the things that we can do to build our strength.
That's good stuff. We thank you for your contribution to women and girls and partners to the lives. And I pray that you continue to move forward in
Yeah.
all that you desire to do.
Listen, listen. You have to keep going. That's
Yeah.
one thing. I don't care if you stop for however long, but baby, pick it back up and do your thing with it, and trust what you have. I'm telling you, leave that social media stuff, those amazing photos, those images that you think like, oh my God, like this is just amazing. No, sis, trust whatever God has given you. And if it don't look like what you thought it was supposed to look like, when you pick it back up and you do the work, you
Yeah.
know what that new picture could be for yourself. Um, that's what I've been telling myself for a while now. Najah, look at what God has given you and work it and do what you want to, and do what he needs you to do with it, and doors will open up. I'm telling you. And they are, slowly cracking, right? But I know that continue to work and the door going woof, it's
Yeah.
going up.
Yeah. Do you have anything else for us?
um Powering through the pandemic, just trust God. Trust the higher power, whoever's watching. um this is not a time where you have to feel alone. This is not a time where you have to feel, you know um unseen, unheard. There's someone, and if there isn't anyone in your life, God is always present. God is always sitting right with you, wherever you are. So if there's something you need to talk about, something you need to get off your chest, your mental mindset during this time is extremely important. He is present and he is here to listen to you. So that's how we want to continue to push through this pandemic. That's how we want to continue to, get our strength up, is through talking and through being open and honest with yourself, to whether it's to God or to a friend, a good friend. Uh, so just he's here and he's going to get us through. That's all I can say. Yeah.
My sister from the East Coast, my sister in faith, everything, Najah, like This was amazing. Thank you
Oh,
for your time.